Justin Sun to reverse 56 million Binance transfer after CZ warns against potential SUI token. Also, too, you guys, let's talk about some of the tidbits from this story over here. CZ said Binance warned Sun it will take action if he used any of the funds to buy up large amounts of SUI from Binance's launch pool during the farming period. He said the launch pool are meant for airdrops for retail users, not just a few whales. I also want to add, I'm sure that he means retail users in designated areas, but you can only have a certain amount of characters per tweet. Sun told ZZ his team was not fully aware of the intended purpose of the funds. So kind of like funds from my wallet went to like this other wallet, and like I didn't know that I was controlling them or not. He says the funds are used to facilitate market making between leading TUSD exchanges, thereby enhancing liquidity for trading and volume, rather than participating in exchange promotions. And SUI is a native token of the Layer 1 blockchain. SUI. Consensus brain. Zach, I saw your hand. I know you and Jen are totally fighting over this story. It's super fun, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this is SUI. I'm fact checking you, Wendy. I'm fact checking you on a Monday. All right.
Thank you for attacking me in my speech impediment. Okay, thank you.
It's all right. SUI is my nickname. People call me SUI back home. So anyway, just got to shout out. Just got to protect the brand a little bit here. Anyway, this is SUI. SUI is an exciting new blockchain. It's one of those ones that kind of emerged out of the ashes of Libra, right? It uses the Move programming language. It claims to be super performant. We actually saw some news at Consensus from one of the co-founders about how many transactions they claim to be able to process. Had some really sort of spiffy demo going on, definitely courting sort of the gaming sector, it seems like, at least out of the gate. But this is, again, sort of a general purpose blockchain that can do lots of different things. Now, people in the world are kind of pissed off at SUI because they're not doing an airdrop, right? All the degens, they love a good airdrop. I understand why the team might not want to pursue that angle, especially given the regulatory environment in the West and in the US specifically. But this is sort of against that backdrop, right? Mainnet's going live, I think, May 3rd. So people are looking to get those tokens. They want those mainnet tokens. They want to, ride that pump should there be an initial one. And people like Justin Sun are apt to play those games, right? It's just a whale's world and we're all living in it. So this is sort of further that there is some shenanigans up at the upper echelons of the bag holding world. So anyway, this is people trying to game these systems, right? Trying to game these mainnet launches so that they can stand to profit. This is certainly not new in crypto. People in crypto love doing this stuff, whether you're airdrop, whether you're like farming airdrops, sort of low-key Sybil attacking, trying to get as many wallets in on the whitelist as possible, or you're doing some of this stuff that Justin Sun is alleged to have done in this piece. But yeah, I think there's definitely some excitement around SUI as evidenced by Justin Sun trying to do his best to get in on that action. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a ton of drama here, to be honest, but I'll toss it to Jen just in case she thinks otherwise.
I think Sun's apology seems a little fishy. Just saying it was an oversight and he wasn't planning on doing this. I don't know. It just feels like, then what were you planning to do? And why are you shifting all the blame to your team? I think there is some drama behind the scenes here, Wendy. I am with you on this one. But when I was reading the story, I was thinking, like, isn't it for everyone, whales and not whales? I know that we don't want whales to come in and dominate, these different crypto ecosystems because we're just perpetuating the issues we're trying to solve in the real world. But how do we solve it? Is it for people like CZ to come in and just say you're not allowed to do this? I feel like, Wendy, that goes against a lot of things that you say.
Well, so that's the thing is like operating in a true decentralized economy. I don't get to tell you and you don't get to tell me, but I guess like we still get to tell each other like this is wrong, don't do this, but we can't necessarily enforce it. So I guess if CZ goes in and actually enforces it, it does kind of go against that aspect. But at the same time, he does run a centralized exchange. So there is a difference between centralization and decentralization. Also, too, I don't know the laws behind any of this, depending on whatever regions Binance operates, because I'm not a Binance user because I'm in the US as of now, but again, I may relocate to Bermuda because of Consensus. Anyways, but I mean, even though I don't necessarily like people telling each other what to do, but CZ is kind of looking out for the underdog, so I kind of like that. And I guess we just have to see how the story plays out.
I mean, you're right about that last bit. We definitely have to see what happens. I'm curious to see what happens following the SUI mainnet launch and who becomes the big player over there. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. There's also a little bit of layer one fatigue out there in the world. I think people are sort of being like, hey, Ethereum's looking pretty good with these updates. They seem to be sort of assembling power on that chain. And yet we have these upstarts who are saying, hey, for XYZ reasons, we're going to be better at making this work for the mainstream and more. So that to me is sort of the bigger story about what's going to happen later this week with this blockchain as people angle to get in on those tokens.